Good morning. Welcome again as we walk through the Bible together in 1 year. On this journey together, today I want us to look at Matthew chapter 15, and I want to talk about a little word called focus. Do you remember how at the end of the year, and even as we moved into the beginning of 2013, I talked with you about the fact that in order to be consistent, you had to be focused. If you try to do too much, you won't do anything well. If you bite off more than you can chew, you won't be able to accomplish anything. I'd like you to notice two passages here that show focus in Jesus' life. One is in verse 24, when he said, I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. He knew the specific target that he was to focus his life on at that period of time. Now, we've already read earlier how the gospel was to go out to the Gentiles. That has never been an issue. But at this particular focus of time, Jesus was to spend his entire strength and energy on the lost sheep of Israel. Let me show you another verse. In verse 32, Jesus called his disciples to him and said, I have compassion on these people. Now, he couldn't show compassion to everybody in Israel at one time and start a feeding program that fed everybody. But he said, on these people, because they've been with me for 3 days and have nothing to eat. And I don't want to send them away hungry or they may collapse on the way. And then we have this incredible miracle of the feeding of the 5,000. Now, brothers and sisters, notice that Jesus recognized these people. Notice that Jesus recognized at this point in time, I need to take care of these people. At this point in time, I need to focus on the lost sheep of Israel. If you are going to be successful in life, if you're going to be successful in your Christian ministry, you have to learn to focus. Sometimes people get very upset with me and they say, Pastor Summerall, why don't you go around and preach in all the other churches and do everything else? Because I am to be focused as the pastor of the Cathedral of Praise. From the very time God called me to be the pastor of the Cathedral of Praise years ago, God spoke to me that there was no one that looked out for the welfare of these people and that I was to focus on those people. So I've given myself totally to that. And I have no apologies for it. You have to learn that you can't do everything well, but you can do a few things very well. Focus on the responsibilities that God has for you. Focus on the people that God has for you. Now, those focuses may change at different seasons of time or different circumstances, but you still have to learn to stay focused.